this guy.
Hey there, I was looking for you. Where have you been? And what's with the package that came today?
This book is amazing. I ordered it from your Amazon today.
Ah, I see you chose the same day delivery.
Yes, it's crazy. The package got here before me.
Oh yes, when I opened the door, a very stressed delivery guy handed me a package, and before I could give him a tip, the poor guy said something along the lines of "I can't do this," hurried to his van and sped off.
What, he can't? He can't take money?
I don't think he was talking about the tip. Anyway, so where were you?
Today was second course of hot yoga class and...
What? Since when are you doing hot yoga?
Well, I saw an announcement in newspaper one day and first I thought they are giving away free glass of hot yogurt soup. But when I go, it was free trial course for stretching exercises in hot room.
Wow, so you actually stayed and tried it?
Yes, exercises are very challenging and only strong, flexible guy can handle this.
That sounds exciting. Maybe you can take me with you next time you go.
Anyway, on my way home, I heard these two guys arguing with each other and one of them started talking about this man, Joe Mama. And the other guy apparently also knew him because he got very emotional and also started talking about him. So I googled this guy on phone and I found this book about him. And this Joe guy seems to be a very amazing man, even though he does not take very good care of himself.
Joe Mama? Never heard of him.
Then you have to read this book. I don't know if this is autobiography or what, but it has interesting facts about his life and character, but written in a funny way, you know?
Like what?
For example, he has very bad mouth hygiene, but still he is charming man, because when he was going outside on street and smile at people, the whole traffic would stop for him.
What? I don't understand.
He is also very fat guy, but also very rich, because he has big watch collection. And every country he visits, he wears different one.
Watch collection? What has that to do with? That doesn't make any sense.
Also, even though he is not very intelligent, he is a very generous guy because he never go to see a movie alone but always invite like 17 friends to go with him.
Hakim, can I see that for a moment?
He is weird guy but also fascinating, right?
Hakim, this is not a book about a man named Joe Mama, I'm afraid.
What do you mean? What else it is about?
Well, it's a collection of your mother jokes. Yo mama.
Are you confusing? My mother did not write this.
No, it's about your mother. Well, not about, just listen. Your mother is so stupid when she went to the movies and saw the under 18 not permitted sign, she left to get 17 of her friends.
What?
Your mother is so fat she has to wear 6 different watches, one for each time zone.
Hey, it's not easy to lose weight right now. She had to go to 4 weddings in last 3 days.
Your mother's teeth are so yellow when she smiled at traffic it slowed down. What are you doing?
Amazon customer service, this is Joey. How may I help you today?
Shame on you, Joseph. I want to return book with insults about your mother.
Hakim, wait.
Excuse me?
Instead of laughing about how much she like eating good food, you should have some respect for women that give birth to you and raise you.
Is he?
Hey, Joseph, are you crying?
It's just, I lost my mother to stomach cancer a month ago and...
Maybe we just keep the book. So what did you do while I was gone?
Actually, we were supposed to watch the new Amazon movie today, but since you were not here...
I forgot.
Don't worry about it. I did remind you yesterday that...
Today was movie day. Sorry, we can watch again if you want. What's it called?
The Tomorrow War. And the movie was so awesome and exciting that I don't mind watching it again, actually.
Really? So what happens in movie?
Well, it all starts with an exciting sequence where our main character Dan Forrester falls out of a portal in the sky into the rooftop pool of a skyscraper in the destroyed city of Miami, Florida. And before we know what's going on, we jump 28 years into the past.
Oh, that's a lot of excitement to swallow for beginning of movie.
Yes, the movie hooks you right away with this amazing action sequence, and in the past we learn more about Dan and his family.
So how old is that guy in present time if he already has family 28 years in past? And how does Grandpa survive fall from that height into swimming pool?
That's where the twist of the movie comes in. You see, the past where he spends time with his family is actually the present, and the perceived present is the future.
Oh, I'm confused. Don't tell me this is time travel movie.
Exactly, the portal we see makes it possible to jump decades into the future and...
I have very bad feeling about this. Time travel movies always have so many problems with logic.
Not this one, let me explain.
Okay, so what happens with his family?
Well, it's Christmas time in the year 2022, and Dan is celebrating with his wife, little daughter, and some friends. We learn that he's a scientist with a military background, and his daughter also loves science. So they are watching a broadcast of the FIFA World Cup when suddenly a portal appears on the soccer field, and a big group of soldiers comes running out of it.
Whoa, what is going on?
Exactly right. So the soldiers are from the future and warn humanity that they're on the brink of extinction due to an alien invasion 26 years from now, and that the alien invaders, also called white spikes, will have killed the majority of the human race inside 3 years. And that's when the real movie begins.
So all the countries begin to fight each other over this and the world goes into chaos because most of the governments are selfish and corrupt and only care about money and power?
No, actually right after that we see that every country on Earth is working together to prevent the alien invasion from destroying humanity.
They show why everybody suddenly gets friendly with each other in movie?
Not really.
This is stupid.
Anyway, the world needs soldiers to defeat the alien threat, so...
The soldiers from future use the time they have and begin training everybody and preparing them for alien attack?
No, actually, they realize pretty quickly that there's not enough soldiers to fight the invaders, so...
But they have 26 years to train everybody to become good soldier, yes?
Well, technically that's correct, but their solution is a mandatory military draft for civilians where they just give them a machine gun and send them into the future battle.
So these aliens killed almost everybody in future, and instead of using knowledge from there to train everybody for 26 years so they can defeat aliens when they attack, they jump random people with no experience into future where aliens have already won to fight against overwhelming amount of monsters there?
Exactly.
I already have headache.
Well, bear with me, it gets better.
Well, it can't get much worse, can it?
So, even though most of the people who are sent into the future die there,
surprise, surprise,
about 20% of them survive, and because Dan's wife is working with returnees who have to deal with heavy physical and psychological trauma from the experience, she's very upset when she learns that her husband has been drafted too.
Can't this Dan guy just run away with family if he doesn't want to be sent to future to die?
Well, that's what his wife actually wants them to do, but you see, every person that is chosen to fight in the alien war gets a draft band that is attached to their arm. It's not only a device that tracks their every move and would alert the authorities if they try to flee, but also allows them to jump into the future and returns them to the present time after 7 days, if it detects that the heart is still beating.
So can he somehow remove this band?
Well, he can't, but his estranged father is a mechanical engineer, and even though he initially doesn't want to ask him for help, Dan goes there on the behest of his wife, and it turns out that his father actually recognizes the exact model of the draft band, and is theoretically able to remove it.
So he removes this band and then runs away with his family to live happily ever after for around 25 years?
No, actually Dan gets angry at his father for leaving him as a child, refuses his help, and returns home to say goodbye to his family before reporting to basic training.
So he doesn't want help of his father because he left him as little kid so he can leave his little kid to go fight losing battle?
Yes, basically.
This is stupid.
So at the briefing, Dan meets the other draftees, which mostly consist of civilians, and they learn some things about their mission. They don't have a lot of time to prepare, and there's even one guy who still has his chef's hat on.
This is not funny.
Anyway, Dan meets another fellow scientist, and together they deduce that to prevent a time paradox, those who are drafted have already died before the war starts, and those who came from the future to warn them about the alien invasion and train them are all in their early 20s, so they haven't been born yet. This way, they prevent the possibility of meeting themselves in the future or in the past.
Didn't you say that in the future aliens have killed almost every human?
Yes, actually only around 500,000 people of the world's population remain.
Then why they worry about this paradox when more than 99.99% of humans in the future are dead anyway?
Well, because they want to...
So they show them pictures of the aliens and give them all the necessary information?
Actually, not really. They are afraid that if they show them what they are dealing with, they would be too scared to fight.
But you said this is mandatory draft.
Yes.
So they have to fight anyway.
Yes.
So they send civilians where some of them are still in their clothes from office job to battle with brutal aliens they don't even know how they look like?
Yes.
Ugh.
Anyway, before you know it, there is an alert, and everybody has to get ready. But right during the jump process, the time machine malfunctions, and instead of dropping them safely somewhere on the ground, the portal appears in the sky, and most of them die horribly, except for Dan and the draftees he talked to during the briefing, who all land in the rooftop pool.
Ah, that explains scene from the beginning, but it doesn't explain how Dan survived this.
What do you mean? He lands in the water.
But he still fall from big height, yes?
Yes, it's a considerable height, probably like a kilometer or two.
I once fell from 5-meter board into swimming pool and I couldn't walk straight for 2 days.
So, the surviving group gets contacted by Colonel Commander Forrester, who tells the group that their mission is to rescue the personnel of a nearby lab, but more importantly their research, which would help them create a toxin that can kill the white spikes and potentially save the world.
Ah, so this is very important to get this alien poison.
Exactly, but the problem is that they have to hurry, because not only is the city infested with aliens, but the area is also about to be bombed by the military in a few minutes.
Why?
Well, because...
If lab mission is high priority, why military can't wait until they get this toxin before they bomb already destroyed city?
Well, they must have had their reasons.
This is stupid.
So they hurry to the lab, where they discover that the research team is dead unfortunately, but Dan manages to get the vials with the toxin, and takes them with him.
Again with these vials that save everybody.
Anyway, on their way out, they have a big fight with the white spikes, and let me tell you, these are some scary creatures.
Really? How they look like? Oh, they look like creatures from hell.
Very haunting, and they are so strong that even though they start firing on all cylinders, most of them get slaughtered on their way out of the building.
So how they survive this?
Well, right before they get overrun with aliens, the fighter jets appear and bomb the city, saving them from the white spikes in the process.
That was convenient.
So, during the bombing, Dan passes out for some reason, and when he wakes up, he's in a military tent somewhere else, so it appears they have been rescued by the military. He gets outside to check the situation and runs into the Colonel Commander who guided him and his team through the mission, and there's a little surprise in store for him.
The vials with research toxin were destroyed when he fell down from passing out?
No, the Commander is actually his daughter from the future.
Wow, very lucky that not only from the 500,000 humans that survived this catastrophe his daughter is one of them, but she also in the same mission where her father is drafted.
Right. So she explains that they are already working on a toxin, but right now the toxin they have only kills the male aliens. But you see, the females, which are much bigger and stronger for some reason, are immune to the poison. And so they have to go on another mission to catch a female white spike, so they can analyze her and create a universal toxin that will kill all the aliens.
Sounds like a difficult job.
It is, partly because we also learn that the male aliens can sense the female from far away and will do anything to protect their queen. So in the process of catching her, hundreds of male white spikes descend upon them, but they manage to flee in the nick of time and bring the caged female to another research facility.
Do they use toxin they have right now on male aliens to get them off their back?
Not really, they're still just mostly shooting bullets at them and apparently put their hopes in the Toxin 2.0.
This is stupid.
Anyway, the second research facility is located in the middle of the ocean and is heavily protected because the only jump link humanity has is located there. Without it, it's not possible to jump back and forth between future and present time.
So is it good idea to bring powerful female alien to this place?
Don't worry, she's not only sedated but also chained to the floor and can't escape on her own. So they actually manage to create a toxin out of her DNA that kills all the aliens, but right as they want to celebrate, there is a red alert, and male white spikes are swarming the place to get to their queen.
So was it good idea to bring powerful female alien to this place?
Well, in hindsight, no, it wasn't.
Ugh. So do they shoot and kill female immediately to prevent male aliens from tracking her and attacking the facility even more?
No, they try to flee instead.
So instead of taking care of source of problem, they just run away.
Yes.
This is stupid.
So while trying to get away from the aliens, Dan's daughter is heavily wounded by one of them, and she asks Dan to return the vial with the toxin to the past, so they can save humanity, and her impending death wasn't for nothing.
Ah, sad scene between father and daughter.
It is. And on top of that, she falls off a platform into a horde of aliens, while the clock in Dan's draft band is counting down the seconds until he gets jumped back to the past.
So Dan uses the last seconds to bring the toxin vial to safety, and while mourning his daughter waits to be teleported back, huh?
No, he jumps after his daughter into the sea of white spikes.
Why?
Hakim, it's his daughter.
Yes, but what he gonna do? Also die with last chance of humanity in his hands?
He doesn't anyway, because he gets teleported back right in time.
Very convenient.
So he makes it back safely and they are able to mass produce the toxin, but there is one problem.
What now?
During the attack at the second research facility in the future, the jump link gets destroyed, so they can't jump back into the future to use the toxin. So it seems the entire operation was in vain.
What do you mean? Can't they just wait at the place where aliens show up and kill them with toxin?
No, you see, they never found the spaceship the aliens came in. The only information they have is that the white spikes appeared in Russia around 2 decades from now.
So that's end of movie?
No, far from it. After reuniting with his family, Dan has a talk with his wife, and she has a great thought. What if the aliens didn't land in Russia at that time, but they were already there all along?
But she's wrong, because then someone of the millions of scientists and smart people who are dealing with this problem for years would have already think of that.
No, she nails it, and apparently nobody else on the entire planet thought of that before.
Ugh, God help me.
So together with his science friend, Dan analyzes an alien claw they brought back from their mission, and they find out where exactly in Russia the aliens came from.
So they alert authorities and military to go there and kill all the aliens.
They try to, but this one guy says no, and asking other people would take too long, so Dan and his friends go to his estranged father who owns a plane, and he immediately agrees to fly them to Russia where they discover the alien spaceship frozen in ice.
So then they alert authorities and military to go there and kill all the aliens, because now they have evidence.
No, again, that would take too long, so they decide they're going to do it themselves.
But they have dozens of years before aliens wake up, and if they make mistake now, aliens wake up earlier and kill everybody.
Yes, right.
This is so very stupid.
So they go into the ship and find an alien queen and a lot of male white spikes in hibernation.
So they quickly poison the queen first with the toxin and then proceed to kill the males.
No, actually, they begin with some of the males, and in the process wake up all the aliens, unfortunately.
So they pay for their stupidity with their lives and die a horrible death.
No, they manage to blow up the ship with C4 they brought with them, and kill all the aliens in the process.
Then what is point of the whole toxin thing?
I don't know, but it turns out they didn't kill all the white spikes because the queen manages to flee the ship before it explodes.
So they kill the queen with the toxin.
Not yet. First, Dan's father tries to shoot it with a sniper rifle, which doesn't work. Then, Dan uppercuts it with a snowmobile right as it tries to attack his father, and after that, Dan proceeds to fight the queen with his bare hands.
Are you kidding me?
No, and then Dan's father tries to sacrifice himself to save his son from the queen, who overpowers him in the fist fight.
So at least there is sad moment where father dies for his son.
Not really, because right as the queen wants to kill his father, Dan jumps on her back and cuts her throat, before ramming the vial with the toxin right into her mouth, which finally kills her. Then Dan and his father return to his family and live happily ever after.
I don't want to watch that.
Hakim, you promised. Movie day and all.
I'll never leave this family. Because my best future, it turns out, was always right in front of me.
So?
Actually, this was more entertaining than I thought.
See, I told you, didn't I? And they already announced that there's going to be a sequel, so...
Don't push it.
Who is that?
It's Joseph. I invited him to apology dinner. Do you by any chance have black pudding in fridge? That's his favorite.
Ooh. Na 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 na.
Connor and Hakim.